I've been flying the Autel Evo 2 Pro for the past couple of months now, and it's probably one of my favorite drones I've ever tried. It is a beast because of all of its sensors on the side, on the front, on the back, on the bottom. You have sensors all around this drone. So because of that, it's pretty good for tracking a certain object and using its obstacle avoidance in the process. But I have to be honest, I've never tried it until now. I didn't really have anything interesting to track or to use for testing purposes, but this changes today.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Yeah, take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat.
Just arrived at the spot where I'll be performing the tests, and I'm ready to ride my bike while the Autel Evo 2 Pro is following me around. I'll test the drone in all of its three different tracking modes. We have dynamic, where the drone is moving around while keeping you in the middle of the frame. We have parallel, which follows you from the side and keeps a nice profile shot of you while tracking you. And then we have tripod mode, where the drone does not move, but it is following you around, like sitting on a pole and just moving left and right, keeping you in the shot. So I'm excited to perform these tests. Let's see what the Autel Evo 2 Pro can do, and let's begin. So starting off with the dynamic track first, and as you can see, I'm already on the move with my bike and the drone is following me. Now I noticed the drone had trouble keeping me in the shot. As you can see here, it lost me and then it found me a little bit later once again. But for the most part, it didn't look very smooth. It wasn't as good as I was hoping for. And again, here you can see that it lost me completely. Out of nowhere, the drone was just moving up and down for some reason, and then it just completely lost me in the frame. Now keep in mind, you have two different options when it comes to dynamic track. In the upper right corner of your screen, you have low speed or high speed. So here my first couple of tests were with low speed. I was just trying out both of these options, and I was not riding very quickly on my bike just so the drone can actually keep up with me. Now the next test was with high speed enabled, and for some reason you see the drone zooms in 3.5 times on me while tracking me, which is not something that I want. And here it zooms far too much, and as a result it just completely lost me. Then again we start over. Luckily I had my friend just checking out what's going on, so he was able to start tracking me once again. And again the drone is just falling behind very quickly, even though it has high speed enabled, and even though it's moving at about 40 kilometers per hour, it still uses that 2.7 times zoom on me to keep me in the middle of the frame. And I definitely don't like that. I don't want to have any digital zoom applied to the image. I don't want to be that zoomed in when I'm being tracked. And you see the speed of the drone, it's 54 kilometers per hour, and it still struggles to follow me in a smooth way. It still uses that 2.7 times zoom on me to keep me in the middle of the frame, and as a result the footage is just not very good looking. The next tracking option was the parallel track, and here again the drone was definitely not smooth at all when it was trying to keep me in the shot. It kept losing me. It was constantly searching for the target, then it found it, then it lost it once again. And you see it's moving all the time, left and right, left and right. It's definitely not smooth. And I was just trying to ride in a straight line with a constant speed to make it a little bit easier for the drone, but even then it was having a very hard time keeping me in frame. Parallel track worked a little bit better on the way back when the drone was on my left side, but still the results are very choppy, very jittery, and the drone was like moving all the time. I was a little bit scared that it's going to bump into me, because it was just going forward and going back again, and it was not a good experience in general. But I decided to give another go, and I made my friend ride his scooter so I can be on the sticks and see what's actually going on. And as you can see, there are two little buttons right next to the record button, the zoom plus and zoom minus. So I kept pressing the zoom minus because the drone was constantly zooming in. So you'll see that I'm pressing the button because the drone for a second zooms out, but then again it starts zooming in straight away after that, which was really annoying. I didn't want to have any zoom, but I guess the drone didn't think the same way. Finally, we have the tripod track, where the drone does not move, it just tracks you to keep you in the shot. And I think this is probably the smoothest experience out of all of those three, simply because the drone was not moving. It was just so much aggression from the drone. So the tripod track was actually a good tracking experience until it lost me eventually when I went too far. I think the tripod track is perfect to be used if you are circling around a certain area and you know you're not going to go very far from it. If you are going to do something in that specific area where the drone will be just rotating around to keep you in the shot, it will be a good experience. But it's not meant to be used when you're tracking something that is moving at a higher speed and it's going to leave the frame eventually. So final thoughts on the tracking possibilities of the Autel Evo 2 Pro. Unfortunately, I did not enjoy it. I don't think the possibilities of this drone are up there with DJI and especially with Skydio. Unfortunately, I got a lot of jittery shots that were just not smooth enough. I don't think the AI is smart enough to know and to predict where you're going and where you're going to be in the next shot. So that results in some very jittery moves that are just rendering your footage almost useless, I might say. And especially that zooming in part where the drone just decides that it's going to zoom in on you to keep you in the middle of the frame. I don't know who decided that that's a good idea. I prefer to be lost in the shot than to be zoomed in that much. And I was hoping there would be a chance to disable that digital zoom, but I browsed through all the settings. I didn't see anything. I really hope it's my mistake, but if that's the real thing and there is no way to disable digital zoom, that's just not a good look from Autel. So thank you so much for watching today's video. It's been a pleasure to at least try this drone out in a different scenario. I now have my bike, so at least I'll have some future options for tracking and testing out different things. And of course, it's a lot of fun to ride. I'm still learning, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. So thank you so much for watching today's video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Take care and goodbye.